It is time for me to drift onto the unknown. And maybe I've seen too much. Maybe I need to be alone. But it's you who traveled a long, long way from here. We had our ups and downs. You've always made it clear. Into the space, into the great wide open. God only knows we tried, making it great. And in the moments we had, the times of our lives. There is one thing for sure, we won't have a clue. We'll forget all the people we always thought we knew. So promise me one thing, we won't apologize. We made our mistakes, we're lying on the beds we hide. Into the space, into the great wide open. God only knows we tried. We made our mistakes, and in the moments we had the time.
Hi there. Normally I don't talk in the videos anymore, but this time we need to talk about the signature for this journal. Made a small booklet. It will be another class also. I love this range of small books. But I've made it for this journal and also to show you the stitching we're going to use to stitch the signatures into the journal. But a nice concept. Love, love, love the small books. Let me just show you properly. This is some tracing paper that I stamped and cardstock, and again tracing paper. Love these small books. This journal will be my own personal journal, so I'm going to enjoy writing in all this. Okay, signatures. First of all, in my previous video about the journal cover, you can see that on my YouTube channel. You'll see that we did the lines and the eyelets to show you on the outside. The eyelets where we're going to do the stitching of the signatures, and they work in lines. 3 eyelets for every signature. Alright, so what we're going to do, let me just put this journal aside first. I'll just show you. I got 5 lines, so I made 5 signatures of 5 pages each. So there's my 5 signatures, and each one consists of 5 pages. Smaller, larger, we'll go through them once we've completed the journal. I'll do a walkthrough on the journal. Be sure to watch that, it's quite interesting. Alright, so the signature. Before we mark, what we can start with is the outside page of your signature, which is this one. You'll see that my holes is in different areas on the line. I don't want 3 in a row. It'll be, there's a word for that, I can't remember what they call it. But anyway, so my first signature, I'm going to put flush with the holes. Or let's rather say, I'm going to put my signature and make sure that it is in the middle of the length of your journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark the middle of each hole, and that will indicate where I must put my holes in the signature. So let's put this aside. Talking about the signature, there's different sizes of paper in this signature. These are all A4, the bigger ones. And then of course there's smaller ones like this one. And another size, and there's even smaller pockets in there. So what I normally do is I turn my signature, put it all nicely together, and I turn over page 1, page 2, and I make sure the middles are the same and it's flush here at the ends. So that's perfect. Then the smaller ones, I move them to the middle. Otherwise, if they can stick out like that, or they will miss a hole, so I put them in the middle, if you can see what I mean, of this signature. Then this is a different size. I also put this in the middle. This is slightly smaller than my A4, you can see. Okay, perfect. Then this little guy, also check the middle, more or less. Don't have to measure. You can measure if you want to. I don't measure. Okay, so then if I'm happy with this, I will close it and just put it nicely together so that my signature is everything in a row. Then I take my bigger clamps. Look at the size of those. It's my husband's clamps from his workshop. And I open in the middle of my signature. Make sure that you keep it all together. And I will put a clamp in the middle as far as I can to make sure I get hold of the smaller ones inside. And then of course I put this clamp, the even bigger one, on that side. Now I'm fairly sure that it's keeping secure all the smaller pieces in the middle also. So now what we need to do is punch the holes. So when you open it up, you will find that you might just have to adjust it a bit, but it is still all in the middle. So I bring in my beautiful crocodile. I do the bigger holes because I'm going to do stitching, or in fact I'm going to do the smaller hole. So I look at my markings and then I'm gonna punch the holes. That's easy enough. Just want to turn it around, keep it all nicely together. Okay, so now we're going to stitch this into the journal cover. Still keep your clamps on. Bring in your journal cover. And we know we're going to work that way. So now I take some string. This is a bit bulky, so let me just move this to the side and work on the cover first. I take the string and I take the length of my journal. Three times I think should be enough. 3.5. Let's make it 3.5. Okay, and I cut this. Then I bring in my nice big needle. It should be a nice big one for your, especially if your string that you're using is a bit bulky. Okay, so there's my string. Now, of course this is for the first one, so I'm going to the way we're going to attach this is we start in the middle from the top, pull it through, and then of course I hope you can see here, I'm going to put it in the middle of that first signature, first line I mean, and pull it through. Let's do this. And we keep a nice long piece here in the middle because we're going to do a knot. So this, I think what I can do, sorry for the bulkiness and the, okay, so from the back we brought this out in the middle, so we're going to the top one, put it through there, and of course put it through the top hole of the signature. There we are. And then you pull it through like I did just there. Please don't do that. So let's start again. In the middle, through, and in the middle of the journal cover. Do I look helpless? I feel a bit helpless. But we get there. Eventually we get there. We always do. Let me put it like this. Then I go in through the top hole in the same row and make sure it comes out the top hole in my signature. Let me tilt it a bit. And then you pull until you see this middle one moving. Okay. Then you take it all the way down to the bottom one and also put it through the journal. There it goes, you see. Make sure you got this one. Now I think it is safe to remove the one, so at least we can pull this together. There we go. And I want to bring it out in the middle again. So if I put it in there, it should come out. The middle again. I think it's safe to remove that also now. So what we should do now is pull this all nice and tight. And if you look at the back, you will see the stitching. So we pull this nice and tight, make sure our signature is quite secure. I think 3 times was more than enough. I've got quite a large piece left, so 3 times the length of your journal.
Life is so beautiful and standing here. You're the reason I made it. You're the reason I'm here. Life is so beautiful and standing here. You're my reason. You're the reason. It is time for me to drift onto the unknown. And maybe I've seen too much. Maybe I need to be alone. Into the space, into the great wide